and welcome back to Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling. This is part 3 of a review of Monday Night Raw from August 19th, 2013 from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. This is hour 3. And we begin with CM Punk walking down to the ring to cut a promo on Paul Heyman and respond to Paul Heyman asking that CM Punk apologize for leaving the nest. Okay. Before he can do that, though, Punk decides to cuss out a fan that said he sucked. Okay. That was a really funny segment. And then Paul Heyman enters the arena with his sidekick, the chief of the auto parts, Curtis Axel, who seems quite happy with himself for some reason. I guess he must have made a really big sale on brakes, which I guess is really good for him. Anyway, Paul Heyman decides to say that I'm really sorry that Curtis Axel is about to finish the job that Brock Lesnar started. And he orders Axel to go and tape up his wrist, while Punk patiently sits in a chair during a commercial break. When we come back from commercial break, Curtis Axel has taped up his wrist, and Paul Heyman orders him to destroy Punk. The two proceed to have a really well done brawl, which is very similar to the brawl they had 2 weeks ago. Both of them hit their spots incredibly well, and Axel once again acts as the disruptive heel, while Punk plays the unstoppable anti-hero babyface. The finish of this match is Punk hitting a GTS on Axel on the steel steps. And Punk casually stares at Paul Heyman with daggers in his eyes. And Paul wonders if this arm sling can protect him from dagger shots shooting out of Punk's eyes. Also wondering what kind of monster that he needs to sick on CM Punk to succeed in destroying him for once and for all. Here's a hint. He's a 5-time steak-eating champion, and he has his own code of rules. It's Ryback Rules! Yep, Ryback Rules. And Ryback is probably going to be inserted into this feud at some point because, quite frankly, he's not really doing anything right now except bullying people and eating lots and lots of catering. Also, Ryback is probably going to get into a feud with Kofi Kingston at some point because, well, Ryback put Kofi Kingston through a table. So yeah, this is really interesting, and it's going to be really interesting going down the road. Next up is R-Truth saying a rap of "What's up?" while waiting for his eventual Redneck Annihilation. Redneck Annihilation arrives in the form of the Wyatt family, who are all very happy and joyful at this point. I don't know, maybe they had some of the Shield's Justice cookies. Yep, the Shield had some Justice cookies after the 2 beatdowns that they gave Dolph Ziggler and The Big Show. Always do justice, but afterwards always take a 15-minute justice break with some milk and justice cookies, because it's always a sensible thing to do. Or they had some Hellfire marshmallows, which is also delicious. Anyway, Bray Wyatt's debut match on Raw is a really solid match. He decimates R-Truth with his really good Southern-style offense, and has the psychotic hillbilly character down. It's absolutely amazing watching him perform. He has all the mannerisms down, he has the facial expressions down. It's absolutely fantastic. And he destroys R-Truth, and it was, again, a really good match. Then, after the Redneck Annihilation, we have FreeMB versus the Usos. It was once again a really solid tag team match, and the second great tag team match of the night. FreeMB plays the arrogant heels, while the Usos play the determined babyfaces. I really like the finish of this match. One of the Usos goes flying to do a suicide dive, but not before he tags in his brother, who's on the top of the turnbuckle. The Uso on the top of the turnbuckle does a Samoan splash on Jinder Mahal for the win. It was a really cool spot, and I really enjoyed it. Both of these teams have some pretty decent momentum. I know 3MB is the job squad of the tag team division, but they play the role so well. And the Usos are really good as that babyface team. So after the veteran World's Strongest Tag Team goes after the Shield, don't be surprised if the Usos get another shot at the Shield at some point. All in all, it was a really good segment. Next up was Wade Barrett versus The Miz. Wade is kind of in a weird spot right now. He's kind of in the no man's land. He's stuck in the mid-card and he really doesn't know where he's going to be going. He's also still steaming from the shave that he got from Daniel Bryan when Daniel Bryan decided to act like an overreactive 5-year-old and overreacting over the beard cutting, which resulted in Wade Barrett getting his beard shaven off. So losing the Beard of Power, which apparently was Wade Barrett's power source, has cost Wade Barrett a lot of matches recently, which The Miz naturally takes advantage of. The Miz, in the finish, locks the figure 4 leg lock on Wade Barrett. Unfortunately, he is not anticipating the diving top rope knee drop that Fandango gives The Miz. Really great props to all 3 people involved in the spot. They were in the right part of the ring when they did the spot. Barrett and Miz had the figure 4 leg lock locked in the perfect position. Fandango aimed his kick absolutely perfectly from the top rope and didn't accidentally break the Miz's neck or dive a little too far to the right and accidentally knee Barrett in the face. So props to all 3 gentlemen for doing that spot correctly. Bravo! I salute you and I clap in the microphone. Anyway, once again, it was a pretty solid match. All 3 participants did a really good job, and I really like the fact that Fandango has become this interference-heavy heel with this sadistic streak, apparently from the Planet of the Ballroom Dancers, which is really great. Anyway, as our final wrestling segment draws to a close, we now have our final segment of the evening. As the Eye of Sauron has announced throughout this show, a championship coronation is taking place. The championship of Randy Orton being coronated. It was a really interesting segment, and I really enjoyed it. We begin by seeing that every single WWE superstar is on the edge of the ring, of the arena stage floor, basically being the peasants in this, I guess, coronation of their new king, which is Randy Orton. Triple H's music comes on, and he's walking down the stage to the ring and casually bows as he watches the peasants stare at him with anger in their eyes. Or they're just waiting for catering to open and, eat something. The Shield, having their traditional 15-minute Justice break with Justice Milk and cookies, are now acting as security guards for the McMahon family, which is really great and really interesting. I mean, it was really cool. So, anyway, Triple H cuts a rambling heel promo on Daniel Bryan. And tries to, spin doctor that he messed with Daniel Bryan, but he doesn't hate him. But he's just one of these technical guys. He's a good little technical worker. He had to do what was right for business. He acts completely delusional in this entire segment, and I absolutely enjoy it. As much as people said that Randy Orton needed a heel turn, Triple H needed a heel turn as well. He hadn't been a heel in years, and you can just see how he's reveling in it. All 4 members of the McMahon family are there, and by all 4 I mean now the corporate champion. You know, the corporate champion and the 3 members of the McMahon family. And they're all so proud of Triple H turning to the dark side. Vince is so happy. He finally saw the light. Stephanie is happy but very uncertain as to what the future holds. And Triple H is now the evil overlord in training. By the decree of McMahon. The corporate champion comes out and cuts a promo and says that he sold himself out, basically, to be a champion once again, which is completely understandable, considering that Randy Orton hasn't had championship success in a very long time. He's gotten out of his championship slump and is now the WWE champion, with his evil overlord at his side and Satan guiding them along the path of evil. They then decide to tie up one of their loose ends. Thankfully, due to all the peasants on the stage, the optional route of Daniel Bryan taking a food truck and trying to smash into the ring is taken out of play in another gender-savvy moment. Then they do another moment where Triple H decides, let's get this over with, and calls Daniel Bryan over to the ring. He knows that Daniel Bryan is in the arena due to all the spies that they have. I guess those Canadian dancing ninjas are really effective at spying. Or maybe they can smell Daniel Bryan's smelling like a lumberjack or something. Lumberjack senses tingling. Triple H orders Daniel Bryan to the ring. He then proceeds to do a taunting yes chant at Daniel Bryan, taunting and mocking him, and proceeds to play his theme music. Daniel Bryan comes out through one of the side entrances and decides to try and enter the ring. I say try because the Shield intercepts Daniel Bryan, fueled by their power of milk and justice cookies, and proceeds to decimate Daniel Bryan, while almost giving him a triple powerbomb, which Triple H says, "No, don't do that just yet. Let him come into the ring. Let him come into the ring," like the ultimate troll that he is. Daniel Bryan slowly crawls into the ring, only to be RKO'd out of his shoes by Randy Orton. And that is the end of the show, with the corporate champion and the McMahon family standing tall and raising their hands up high while the peasants look on in disgust. This was a really great episode of Monday Night Raw. It was absolutely fantastic from top to bottom. The theme of this show, as I've said before, was evil taking over from the big good that was John Cena. This sets the table for eventual feuds to happen in the WWE. All in all, solid show. I'll give it an A. Not a B+, it deserves an A+. A+ effort. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. This is 14 Fitzpatrick, and I am signing off from Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling. Have a good day or night, ladies and gentlemen.